Hello online pipe community, Ethan, Parsimonious Piper here. Today we have got another Parsimonious pipe. Then we're going to talk about what I think are probably my rarest pipes for Pipe Week. Today's Parsimonious pipe is a 2-star pipe by Lee, bent billiard with a gentle quarter bend on the stem, or eighth bend. It's barely bent. In it, I am smoking some Peterson's Balkan Delight, which we will talk about next week after I've had a chance to smoke a bunch of it. In the meantime, let's take a closer look at this pipe. The outside of the bowl on this one was not terribly dirty. The lower aftershot does show a little more of the contrast in the grain. It pops just a little bit more. But the outside of this one was not really bad. The top of this bowl was crusted in lava and it needed a good reaming. The bowl itself, the rim, was not burnt or scorched at all, though. It was darkened a little bit, but not much. A good scrubbing got all of that lava off and lightened up the rim to match the rest of the bowl quite nicely. You will notice the stem was not terribly oxidized. It had just a little bit. It's funny because in the aftershot, it looks like there's a little green over there on the right, and there's not. That's a reflection. It's perfectly black right now. You will notice this is not a before and after picture. This is the stamping that is opposite the Pipes by Lee stamping on the other side of the stummel. I have never before seen this scripted imported briar as the backside stamp. Every single Pipe by Lee that I have ever seen has the stamp on the right in a block script. It's not always exactly that font, but it's in a block font and authentic imported briar, every single one. So this is unusual. These are 5-point brass stars on this, so this is a middle run pipe. Before and after, always seen the stamping on the right. Don't know if they had a small run that were mixed in with somebody else's pipes and they got the wrong stamping on them. If so, that makes this a little more rare than would otherwise be the case, and they just decided to go ahead and sell them as firsts, or maybe they sold this as a second. I wasn't there, don't know, but it is unusual. As usual, the internals clean up nicely with a pipe cleaner dipped in high percentage alcohol. If you wrap that pipe cleaner around the threading and then just kind of unscrew it upward, it'll clean the insides of those grooves pretty nicely. Last a couple of shots just to show this one was overclocked, and I corrected that. With these pipes, you do that by putting a flame at the end of the threaded piece and letting that warm up the glue to soften the glue just a little bit. Gently use use pliers to adjust that screw and then let it cool so that the glue sets again. Overall, not bad for a pipe that costs $25 and change, including shipping and handling, tax, etc. It really is a nice little pipe. I'm not really big on bent pipes, particularly with deep bends, but I've got a couple of these this shape now, and they smoke very well. So it's not quite like an Impal. It smokes quite well. All right, rare pipes. It's difficult with my collection to pin down exactly what is and isn't rare, because I collect Pipe by Lee, and they're two sub-brands, two known sub-brands, Briarly and Gold Coast. Now, I'm interested in all things Pipe by Lee related, and it's been over a year, I think, since I shared any of these pipes. Lord Davenport, back in the 1930s, Davenport pipes had a patent for what they called a magic stem. Now, this magic stem, and I'll show you the earlier patent. This is a 1938 patent pending. So it was made in likely 37, 38, possibly early 39. 39 was when the patent was granted. but this stem pushes in. You can barely see that metal piece in there. If you push in on the stem, that is supposed to help clear the airway again once you've gotten it packed too tight at the bottom, so that when you release, now you've got another air pocket that you can reignite your ember at the bottom. And it's a nifty little contraption. It's got a spring that goes up against this plate. Inside here, there's maybe you can see it there. There's just a surface where this plate rubs up against. And these are replaceable. I'm not sure what you would replace it with, and that just twists in. Nifty little thing. So this was a 1938 Davenport with the magic stem. Possibly the oldest confirmed age pipe that I have, because it's going to be, as we'll see in just a second, it's definitely pre-1940. Because I also have another Lord Davenport, also that nifty little magic stem. This has stamped on it both the 1938 patent number and the 1941 patent number after they had revised their mechanism. It doesn't look much different, quite frankly, but there is some difference in this patent because they were granted that patent then in 1941. So between 1938 and 1941, Lord Davenport has 2 patents on this magic stem. Why is he babbling on and on about Lord Davenport, you may ask? Well, here's another Lord Davenport. This one must come from sometime between 1941 and whenever Lord Davenport quit, because it's got the later stamp, the later patent, 1941 patent only. So sometime in the 1940s, well, we actually know that it had to have been sometime in the 1940s to the early 1950s. Why? Because this Lord Davenport has 2 7-point pipe by Lee stars on it. Collaboration between the 2 companies. And I also have then proof that this collaboration went on longer than just the first era of the pipe by Lee, which were the 7-point stars. The second era were 5-point metal stars, and I have 1 pipe by Lee with the magic stem, second patent, and 5-point stars. Now, overall, I have 4 of the Lee pipes with the stars and the patent, and I have 3 of the Davenports that have the stars and the patent, then plus these 2 that came before the collaboration with Lee. But as far as I know, this was the only real collaboration on these. Nobody else talks about having had this magic stem patent on them. And there are no other that I can find, even rumors of other pipes that had the pipe by Lee stars on them. So it looks like the only collaboration between pipe by Lee and somebody else where they both borrowed something as a marketing gimmick from the other. Now, how rare is that? I don't know. I don't know exactly, but these are these 7 that I have in. How many do I have? I have 3, 4, 6 or 7, whatever. They're the only ones I've ever actually seen. I saw them, I bought them. On one of the pipe forums online, there was a long discussion about the history of pipe by Lee, and this collaboration came up, but even a few of the other guys who collect Lees, and there aren't very many of us, said that they had never actually seen one. So I was pretty excited to come across these. I came across a few of them together and a few of them individually and snagged them as soon as I saw them. And I'm glad I did, because it's an interesting, I think, piece. And as far as I can see, like I said, they don't seem to have survived in great numbers, because you are not seeing them on eBay or Etsy or any of the other places in the dark corners of the pipe internet that I look for pipes. You're not seeing these pipes show up ever, like you see all of the other Pipe by Lee's, the more standard shapes. Even the carved figurine, the figural heads that I've got, I have seen more of those out there in the wild. Never seen any more of these Davenports. So if you happen to know somebody who has more of these Davenports and would like to dispense of part of his collection, please get us in contact with each other, because I would love to have more of these, just to expand the set that I have. Well, I'm pretty sure that neither Pipe by Lee nor Lord Davenport is going to show up on your bingo card for Pipe Week this week, but I do hope that you found that little short dive into the joint history of these two companies. I hope you found that interesting. Like I said, it's been, I think, over a year since the last time I showed any of those pipes, and I think they're interesting. With that, folks, keep enjoying Pipe Week. There are lots of guys putting out good content. There are lots of guys showcasing pipe artisans and good pipe manufacturers. Your bingo cards should be pretty full by now. With that, light something you like. Go out there and find somebody who is doing a brand that'll be on your bingo card, and enjoy your afternoon.